Well, first of all, everybody, welcome to this latest event in our seminar series. I see you should all have programs on your seats, so if you haven't been to any before, welcome, and I hope we will see you again at future events. My name is Diane Yarwood, and I'm the Deputy Chair of the History of Nursing Society, and was involved in the preparation of the exhibition that runs along with this event this evening. If you haven't seen the exhibition, it's on until March in the lower ground floor of the library. The format for this evening will include an interval for book signing by Richard, and we hope also to have some time at the end for questions. We would ask people, if there is the opportunity for questions, to come forward to ask their questions. So at the end, I will be asking you to complete your evaluation forms, and I will also be suggesting you might like to make a donation to the unit at Springfield. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce Herbert Klein, and I think I'll just leave him to tell you who he is. Thank you, Herbert.
Right, okay. So yes, I'd like to welcome you all to this event tonight. I'm happy to see you all here. And I'd like to thank the Royal College of Nursing for inviting me here tonight to speak. It's a real privilege because it is the first time that I've been invited to talk about the world of deafness. It's very rare indeed to have any deaf professional talk about their role. Sorry, I'm having to look at my notes while I speak. I'd like to explain a little bit about my background, who I am. So you already know I'm Herbert. I'm deaf, as you can see, and I use British Sign Language, BSL. I have worked in mental health for 30 years at Springfield Hospital. I actually trained as a counsellor, and I got involved in mental health, and then later on in my career got involved in management. I have to say it's been really difficult and a long journey. Deaf Services was set up 40 years ago, but at that time there were no deaf people working there until I joined 30 years ago. So I'm pleased to say that things have changed a lot, but it's been a very difficult journey. There have been challenges, and we've had to battle to get where we are today. I'd like to share with you my experiences of working as a professional and to show you what the clinical pathways were. The aim, I suppose, is for people to become nurses and psychiatrists, but for deaf people, there's been a lot of discrimination, and actually people would say it's virtually impossible. A deaf person being a clinician, that's impossible. It'll never happen. So it was a very tough battle campaigning, but the Royal College of Nursing have supported us in our battle until we finally broke through the barriers, and people can see that deaf people can become clinicians and become nurses. Because deaf people were considered not suitable for working as clinician, it was partly because of education. And, you know, if you're going to encourage, children were encouraged to speak, deaf children, and have cochlear implants. And so their identity as deaf people was marginalised. And actually, one of the most powerful weapons for a deaf child is to learn sign language, because they can then express how they feel. They can express and learn how to communicate. They can understand what is going on in society, in the news, and gossip. And they can develop their personality that way. And children that can hear learn through osmosis. But for deaf children, they don't have that. So sign language is a powerful tool. And it seems that now more and more deaf people are working as clinicians, and they become role models for these children. Many people say, deaf people working as clinicians? Actually, over 100 years ago, we have information, archive footage made by the British Deaf Association showing that deaf people have a very strong culture. Deaf people have been in society for a long time, involved in sports, theatre and the arts, at festivals. They've had a very rich social life, which means that deaf people can do anything. And so the BDA have produced a film, Power in Our Hands, which demonstrates this rich culture. Maybe looking at me up here, I mean, it's brilliant because it's a role model. And children can see that in the future they can become clinicians, they can become professionals working in psychology or as a nurse or a social worker. Deaf children see role models like myself and others, and they realise that there's nothing to stop them. What's very rare is to have a deaf service user tell their story. So tonight, we have a rarity because we have a deaf service user, ex-user, who can talk about their experiences of mental health, being confused about their identity, and that person will be able to share their experience with you, which is a rare privilege. Quite often, hearing service users get to talk about their experiences quite often, and clinicians and the wider society learn from that. So it's a great opportunity to have a deaf ex-service user talk about their experience. So I'd like to welcome Richard France up here, who is really an amazing person to talk about his experiences.
Hello, 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 hello. My name is Richard D. France. I'm presenting tonight this crazy life. I have to look over there because I have my words. I am going to present my crazy life, and I will present what I call narrative poetry from two books, the book of the Fell Dumper and the book called The Rise After the Fall, and also a little bit from another book called A Tale of These Contemptible Suicides. Why, I'll tell you tonight. First of all, let's have a big hello, 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 hello. I want to say thank you to everybody who's come here tonight at the Royal College of Nursing in London. Woo! I'd like to say thank you for inviting me here Thursday, 9th of November. Beautiful night, so I hope you enjoy it tonight. It's wonderful to be with me. What will happen tonight, I'm going to stand about this crazy life. I'll then stand some poem from the book The Fell Dumper and the book The Rise After the Fall. I will present the tale of these contemptible suicides. So, and then we'll have an interview. After that, I'll finish off with some more poetry. And at the end, I want to make a request from you all, but wait till later. And then when we finish, we'll have a question and answer with Herbert. We have sign language interpreters, and we have voiceovers from the three interpreters here tonight, so thank you for coming. Before I start, I want to say thank you to Herbert and to Sarah. Swanny, who invited me to come tonight. She's over there. So thank you, and thank you, Herbert. I'll take you on a journey where we might learn something together tonight. More importantly for me, we're going to learn about communication. You agree? Very quiet. You agree? Yes. That's better. I thought my battery gone flat. I will use a mix of spoken language, BSL, SSE, and gestures. I have the words on the screen, subtitles for me. I want to make myself accessible to everybody tonight, and I want to make sure you share this journey with me tonight. If you don't understand what I'm saying, put your hand up and I'll kick you out of the room. Let's go back to the beginning. When I was born, I was profoundly deaf. My mother is deaf. And my father is hearing. I have two sisters that are deaf, and two uncles that are deaf, and my nephew is deaf as well. Oh, God. And my grandmother, she was deaf. Everywhere I went, everybody was deaf. But I grew up using a combination of sign and spoken language. My first language, really, is written English. I love writing. Before I learned sign, before I learned to speak, my first communication is through writing because of my mum. Pictures, words, associated. I understand. Upper, A-P-P-N, upper. Oh, I like the upper. Then I started writing. I won my first writing competition when I was 10. I was very proud. I got a book voucher. Then I was published in the newspaper when I was 17. I've been writing all my life, writing. I can't stop writing. Stop it. I found words more expressive than any other language. I just love it, writing. And when I say so, I'm still writing in my mind. I'm writing. This so-called crazy life started when I was 23. I'm only 24 now. Okay. I was bilingual from a young age, and I went to a deaf school. Then I moved to a mainstream school with a PhD, partial hearing unit. I don't know what they call them now, but back then with PhD, no, PhD, I'm PhD. But I grew up communicating in both sign language and spoken language. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I never thought. I didn't identify myself as deaf. I didn't think. I'm human. I'm human. Hello. Everybody communicate, fine. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. When I left school, I went to college. I did college, because school, grow up in school, then we go to college. I don't know. So I got a job at the printer. Then later, I became a graphic designer. But problems started. problem. Why? Communication. Very good. I don't know. These are similar to me. Communication. I can sound, I can speak, but the people I work with can't sound. People were difficult to read, and nobody wanted to stand. This was back in 1993, not really that long ago. There was no interpreter available. Now I've got 3 tonight. So because of that, made me depressed. Communication breakdown. Communication breakdown. Communication breakdown. I started twing. Forget about it. Small. In the end, I became angry. Frustrated. Why? Because people didn't want to communicate. I'm 23. I'm not a baby. What's wrong with you? I found people had an attitude towards me because of my deafness, because I'm deaf. They have an attitude. And it was difficult for me to deal with it because I had to face the issue of my deaf identity. But struggled with this because I had no role model. Where's my role model? Nobody. And I was tormented about the concept of communication. Felt I had to telling people because I want to stop this attitude. Remember? Attitude. Stop. Attitude. Stop. As a result of that, disagreeing with authority. People say no wrong, no bad, no man, no crazy. No. Disagree. Arguing over the concept of Milan, 1880, you know it, Milan, 1880, and silent band. So, deaf, silent band, attitude, stop, attitude, overwhelmed. No. So, I got section for the first time. I got section for what was sending me there. Where? Over there. Where? A psychiatric hospital. No way. Me. Psychiatric hospital. Me. What? Because I don't know with communication, because I say, stop this attitude. Okay. Section. No way. There was nothing wrong with me. I felt nothing wrong with me. Maybe no one to disagree with me, but I will challenge you. But I was frustrated with people who can't communicate. What? Six. They put me in a mainstream psychiatric hospital. It was full of mad, hearing people. What am I doing here? Me, what am I doing here? Why? I don't understand. What have I done wrong? What? Got angry and angry and angry. So they medicated me. That's what I felt. Terrible drug. And now I went completely mad. Crazy. A protester. Stop it. No. Stop this attitude. Stop it. No. Stop this attitude. Stop it. No. I went social services. I tried looking for help. But there was nobody there. Nobody. Getting angry and angry and angry. And I fought with the staff. I'm sorry. I fought with the staff. And I took 6 big minors to restrain me. But still, I was always in confrontation. I left the hospital because they couldn't control me. I was angry. I was that frustrated, angry. But I had to keep taking the medication. This medication made me more depressed. My mind became so dark. I waited. Nobody's watching. Took an overdose. That was my first overdose. And I nearly died. The doctors told my mother and father, we don't know. 50, he died. 50 years. But I opened my eyes and I was so alive. Okay. Over the next 2 years, I moved to hospital, to that hospital, this hospital, that hospital. But always hearing psychiatric hospital. All I want to be with people who can sign. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Attitude. Stop. Oops. Just one pen. Nobody understood me. And I was so frustrated more. But overdose. Again. But kept waking up every time. Next time, more tablet. So I wake up. Next time, I decided that's it. I'll try a different way. I will anchor myself. First time, I fell to the floor. The rope snapped. So the second time, I thought, right. I got a climbing rope. Very strong rope. Messa. And my face is going blue. Stay. I woke up on the floor. The rope had snapped. Impossible. Second time I hung myself, I'm still alive. Impossible. Maybe that is good. Maybe. After that, I thought, that's it. I've had enough. I decided to stop killing myself. Stop it, that's it. No, why? It's hard to die. Don't try. No, don't try. No. Stop it. Later in life, I went to university, but I had problems with my lecture over communication. Again, no interpreter. What do you mean? 2 months. So again, I became argumentative and doing what I felt. Again, attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. Attitude, ask to stop. I got sectioned again. How many times have I been sectioned? And I was locked up in a medium sickle ward. Okay? It was quite violent, very violent, a lot of fighting, a lot of headbutting. But I managed to escape. And while I was escaping, all the alarm, and all the doors were electronically locked. A tomato. Why was I excited about a tomato? Because I picked it up and threw it in the air. And the nurse was running after me. Tomato, to stop. Bye-bye. Remember, tomato, not just to eat it. So it gave me time to distance myself from the nurse running after me. And then I got to the front door, locked. Quickly, I had a security blanket that I had around me, took it off, made a rope, fastened the door. The police couldn't get it. No. They couldn't get it. And I shouted at the nurse, the sick man, big man. I shouted, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, over and over and over and over. Took about 2 hours. A, B, C, D. But in the end, a psychiatrist came and he agreed to learn sign. Stop this attitude. Well done. What's that? So I gave up. The next day, I was kicked out of the hospital. Oh, naughty boy. What can I do? 5 years later, after that, I went to Spain. But again, I had a problem with people. What's wrong? Communication breakdown. So I told people, look, leave me alone, please, leave me alone. 3 simple words that are difficult to understand. Leave me alone. Understand that? No, understand? Leave me alone. No. But leave me alone. That's all I said. Leave me alone. Understand? Leave me alone. In the end, I climbed the mountain. Climb. Bye-bye. bye-bye, bye-bye, leave me alone, bye-bye. And I took over the mountain, great. The long story, a lot of people say to me, how do you take over a mountain? Ah, that's my secret. It was what happened when on a manic, I take over a mountain. The Spanish police got involved. Not good. And I sent an aeroplane looking for me. I remember the aeroplane going round. But in the end, took 6 policemen with guns, or pointed like that. 6 guns. Attitude. Okay. So I ended up in a psychiatric prison in Spain. Wow. It could be different from a holiday. It could be. I was forcibly sedated, and I woke up in a recovery unit. I was angry. Why you treat me like that way? Why? I wanted to kick off, but I was restrained, and when I woke up strapped to a wheelchair. Then we arrived at some door, sealed door. I went in. I was wheeled in, and I had to wear a prison uniform. A prison uniform, hood, with a name. Come on. Nobody spoke English. Or Spanish. My hearing aid was stolen. I was in a security psychiatric prison. Can't get out. Impossible. Wall, very high. With razor wire. Wow. What an experience that was for me. Very hard for me to explain what that was like. Wow. Bad. I have a book over there called A Tale of These Contemptible Suicides. I found it easier to write about that experience. Every morning, when I woke up at 5, they were always ready. Every day. Drift off into drug stupor. I was there for 1 month before they forced me out of Spain. But before I went in, I was vegan. And when I came out, I was eating meat. That I can't complain. Why? First time they put me on the right medication. I calmed down a lot, but thank you to Spain for putting me on the right medication. Thank you. Been on the same medication for 17 years now. I'm calm. Don't worry. Maybe funny, I forget tonight. This was the first time I realised I was bipolar. Bipolar. Bipolar, 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 bipolar. Right, time, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. 2.5 years ago, I was stressed. It's better with life. Oh, God, not again. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. So, that was on Wednesday, 18th of February, 2015. I remember it very well. I think for me, maybe the premature midlife crisis. I didn't want to motorbike, no. I didn't know. Question, everything about life. What is it? Work, eat, sleep, work, eat, over. This is life. Me. So, I don't know why, but I decided to kill myself. I didn't think, I didn't write a note. I remember I made that decision in 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I jumped about 25 meters, about 82 feet, into the rubber tap. And while I was falling, it's very, very peaceful, very peaceful. My mind was quiet. Until something told me, open your eye, getting louder and louder. Open your eyes. And when I opened my eyes, boom, I smashed onto the bottom of the river tap on a pile of concrete. I looked up and thought, beep. I survived, still alive. But there's something up there that said I'm not ready to die. Why? I couldn't believe it. Still alive, a long way. And then I passed out. The river tap, it's hard river. Swept over me. It woke me up. Bloody cold. Tried to stand up, but I couldn't. Realised it. I smashed both my feet. Smash, puppy. And I broke my back. Oh, great. Thank you. I climbed out of the river. Up the ladder into my arm, up with my feet. And when I got out, I thought, that's it. I gave up. That's it. But I thought, oh, brilliant. Cold and wet. Maybe hypothermia would kill me. But I'm still alive. I know. I wait. Maybe I'll die. But 20 minutes, I was bored, I can't die, it's boring, my God, boring. There was nobody around, nobody around. So I had to crawl. My knee, and my hand, crawl. Look back up. Crawl for 5.5 hours. It's a long time crawling. I don't recommend it, not for 5.5 hours. Anyway, 3 people found me, so I found an ambulance came, and they took me to the King College Hospital here in London. I don't remember first 2 weeks, but I remember painful. Now, this 7 trees in the foot, and 4 in this one, and a metal plate on my spine. You know what? I'm actually smaller now compared to before. This one's not very nice. But one night, I go, attitude, stop. Argue with the doctor. And the nurse would argue, why? Because communication break down. Attitude, stop it. In the end, it took 16 staff, including the security guard, to own me down, even though I couldn't stand up. 16 people on top of me. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh dear, that's a lot. I left the hospital after 5 weeks, but I had to have 24-hour supervision. I'd be in bed there, and someone would sit there with the paper. What are you doing? For 24 hours. Lucy. But after 5 weeks, I left the hospital. Then I went to the Bluebell ward. Have you heard of it? Bluebell, no. It's at the Springfield University Hospital in London. In two things. Bluebell ward. No, going to the Bluebell ward. I don't want to go. Ope. Bluebell ward. Ope. It's a strong word for me to move at that time. But it's how I felt when I knew I was going to the Bluebell ward. What is it? The specially psychiatric hospital. Before I go on, I'm going to draw a poem from the book, The Fell Dumper. I wrote that one when I saw the King College Hospital, just before I left for the Bluebell ward. It's called A Beautiful Day. I remember in the morning I was going to go to the Bluebell ward. I was a little bit nervous because hope. So I rose at 4 o'clock in the morning. My supervisor was asleep in his chair. Oh, what today is going to be today. Oh no, what another beautiful day. I know I'm going to tamper, Mum, but I'm in the striking for love. This moon knows no horizons. a path of senseless freedom. I'm going nowhere in the alley, except to find where home is. Oh, today's going to be today. Oh no, what another beautiful day. I know I'm going to tamper my moon. For arm and the striking, for life. Every day, always someone out there, building walls in my way. But let me tell you, don't you, I'm the big bad wolf, gonna blow you down. Oh, what today's going to be today. Oh no, what another beautiful day. Oh, what today is going to be today. Oh no, what another beautiful day. Time to be making distance. Art the beating to art for me. Got to be an either way to freedom. Got to try, find my way home. Oh no, what today is going to be today. Oh no, what another beautiful day. Oh no, what today is going to be today. Oh no, what today is going to be today. Hope, hope. That was the first time I went to the Springfield Hospital. Wow. Different, very different. Wow. Everybody sang. Sign. The doctor and the nurses signed. I couldn't believe the difference. Couldn't believe it. Sign. After 24 years of mentioning psychiatric hospital and a lot of problems, a lot of violence, I found the Blue Bell War to be a place of peace. I had therapy in British Sign Language, in BSL, and for the first time in my life, I found peace with myself. Wow. I stayed there for 11 weeks and came out a different person, different person. However, my problems, they're not finished. Because after I left the Blue Bell War, I had problems with the police. Because communication breakdown. They've broken into my flat twice. Communication breakdown, and it's back. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. I started a problem with people because of communication, but then I won't give up. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. When this gets tired, attitude. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. Doesn't matter, nor death, China, death, or the healing in pain, cook implant, death blind, whatever. Okay. Important that we can't communicate with each other. Important. If you can't sign, write it down. If you can't speak, sign. If you can't write, just write. We all can communicate. We can, come on, we can. Even people don't own language, no. All humans do. I hope no human. But we human, we can't communicate. Don't give up. We are reasonable adjustment and the Equality Act We have reasonable adjustment. What's wrong? Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. That's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. Also, we know of the accessible information standards. Attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. Still a long way to go before we improve with communication. So, attitude, stop. Attitude, stop. Sign language is a visual language. It's beautiful, very complex language. In psychiatric treatment, sign language can be misinterpreted when translated. Complicated. So the Bluebell Ward, they call it the National Deaf Centre at Springfield University Hospital. All the staff sign and communicate openly. I don't need attitude. Stop with that. I don't need it. I don't. Psychology, video therapy, and all the medical staff can sign, all of them. Wow. That made a difference in my treatment. I was able to go through cognitive analysis therapy, similar to CBT, but CAT, with my psychology in sign language. Beautiful. I ask questions related to my deaf identity and she responds to my question about deaf identity. This made a difference to my perspective, especially around my communication issue. Attitude, stop, attitude, stop, attitude, stop. I won't give up. Stop. But a Bluebell Ward, all the staff have to learn sign language, have to. Should be part of the national curriculum, should be, because they enable people to broaden their communication. So, what's wrong? Why? Sign language is complicated, but it's not difficult. It's not impossible to learn. Easy. Hello. Sign language. While I stayed at the Bluebell Ward, I had to learn a lot of New Zealand because I was in a wheelchair. Oh. Beep. I can't say the mirror's up there. Can't do it. I went through video therapy that taught me how to walk again. I'm walking. Can't move. With the occupational therapy, I was able to return to work on a phase basis, but 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, good. With the cognitive analysis therapy, I was able to start looking to the future. The next poem would show me my mind of that time. It's about me going back to work, returning to life, and important for me, reclaiming my life again. Give me Monday, Asa, on the 5th of the 1st. I cannot but go up with jealousy of the morning, a traffic commute to work that I long to belong to sit among the grumble and straight sleep awake dog. In readiness for the day ahead. Coffee and tea needs milk. Others require sugar too. In 20 rotating ticks, the eye will be unleashed. Sandwiches and lunch meal, variety of spoil to spare. Money to be made of flour, with water a variety. A pour for a thought, while catching sunshine and air, such to friends alike. of the ever-distant weekend, come on. But not long before it's time to anchor back to concrete, electrical fund and meaning, earning to keep a roof, cut watching in the afternoon, a bad habit to be kept, will be long before it's over. But still, on Monday, gone. While I was headed back to reality, back to work, learning to walk again, I remember London Bridge at 5 o'clock on Cruncher. Don't do it again, don't do it, no. I took a moment to reflect on my experience at King College in London. I remember the sarcasm from Moseley Hospital, you know it, some maybe big hospital, psychiatric hospital. I remember him, and he said, right, okay, he said, right, you have a choice, okay, right. He told me if I tried suicide again, I knew I was still alive. We have no choice but to lock you up for life. Beep, beep, beep. This left me thinking very deeply, but the conversation I had with the sarcasm was very engaging and very meaningful. He treated me as human. I'm human. Wow. And through the many conversations we had, coupled with the sign language conversation I had with the sarcastic, a bluebell ward, I was able to feel positive about life again. Okay. Look up, life. Easy choice to make. However, I'll never forget that sarcasm. From the Moseley Hospital, he made me laugh. But I don't know his name. Come, gone, right. Okay. But the next poem is for him. Whoever he is, Terry. Okay. I do this poem for him because I don't know his name, because he was the one that got me thinking about my reality, my situation, and my stupid, dumping and smashing myself at my phone. He was the one told me to laugh again, to renew my faith in life again. I'll do this poem, then we'll have a break, okay? No, why, no. Doctor. He prowled the corridor, wearing tweed and jeans. Ambitious, no sleep. Then no mind's content, all unravel under cushion. It's no bad thing to have no life exposed to a stranger. After all, either doctor had aired under a mind trawler. Seeks reasoning in the soupy mind of illogic. Pulled everything to pieces. And then suddenly, like 6 or it all fits and makes sense. But that is stop. All beyond his eyes. Nobody knows what looks. Deductions and traditions. He wields power, but not of life and death, but of reasoning. And then in a flash, he is gone, and dreams return together. and I was wondering aloud, oh, it's the doctor. Right, we'll have a break now. Come back in about 10-15 minutes. I'm over there with my book, so I'll soon will talk. When I come back, okay? Wait.
Thank you so much. Hello? We're having a tea break, as Richard said. There is an exhibition downstairs that you can have a look at in the 10 minutes. And also, it's worth having a look afterwards as well, if you want to. Thank you.
Hello. Hope you enjoy the evening. No, good, bad, maybe. Attitude, stop.
Attitude, stop.
No, some of you have questions.
I know that some of you have questions.
I know some of you have questions to ask, but we're out on that thought. We have to be strict with time because we've got to leave the building, because the Queen wants to go to bed tonight. But a last cup of tea and we're ready to start again. One more time. Let's say away to everybody who believe in the quality and the belief of the NHS. Because, NHS saved me. So I have to say thank you to the NHS. Towards the end of my treatment of Bluebell Ward, I was reflecting more and more on the action I'd taken, the damage I'd imposed on myself. Damn it, I had no logic. Damn it. No reasoning, no sense. I was so writing, and this poem is very special to me because I realised I'd ignored the data sign. Through my discussion with the psychiatrist of the Bluebell Ward, both of us realised I have what they call trigger happy death twit. So when circumstances become stressful for me, I'm not afraid to commit suicide. I'm not afraid. 1, 2, 3. I can't. I know. I've done it before. I know. But when I think back, that scares me. Because I don't want to die. I don't want to. But I can't trust my mind. I can't trust my mind. Because my mind inflicted so much damage on me. My mind. It's dangerous. Trigger, happy, death, twit. I'm sad. Very important for me to remember my support network, Bluebell Ward, and the deaf adult community team, DAC. They're really important to me. If I see the data sign, that I have to contact Bluebell Ward. I have to. This poem highlights what I forgot before, my support network. I forgot. Gone to a paradise, but I can't trust anybody who can't sign. I can't. I will die. I will attitude stop. I will die or ignorant of signing. I will think about my mother, what she went through when I was growing up with my mother. Me, a little boy, attitude, stop. So. I'm not going to trust someone who feels they can understand me only through sign language interpreter. That's it, not good enough. So I'll trust the Bluebell ward because they can communicate with me. Simple. Communicate. Maybe I will trust you. Going back to the data sign, I now know I can't ignore these in the future. So the staff of the Bluebell ward told me not to ignore these. So I start on the next poem with the happy to say the chosen by Sarah Swinney over there. Saying, she shows this poet here at the Royal College of Nursing downstairs. It's a good poem because it highlights the importance of data science. Thought. Here I sit, thinking just how it came to be. I know a travesty of the mind, life simplified, transaction of the art, sorrow in learning, another life ended only this morning. I wake to sense that perhaps today will be a different day. I know nobody knows which way I'll go. Be warned to be aware of the data sign. Only last time I never knew just how far I'd go. I know what a crow to carry when I wake. Simplify. I know what the data signs. That's the last poem because time. But I want to ask you something first. Please, can I allow me? I perform, I do presentation, I do awareness training about mental health. So I'll talk about the Bluebell ward. They really saved my life and gave my faith back. So every performance I do, I ask for donation. I have a tin over there. The money's not for me. I've got an expensive car, no. But the money's for the Bluebell ward patron. And the money is used for their occupational therapy activity. Do you know what that means? Friday night, we'll have a pizza. That's what the money is for. So the last poem I want you to sign with me because it's really important with my need to communicate. So together, we're all going to communicate. Called the Bluebell ward song. I call it the Bluebell ward song because I perform it all over the UK. Popular, #1 on the radio. Any donation made from the song goes to the Bluebell ward patron. Right? We know about reputation hospital food. It's getting better, but never mind that. I want to ask you, when I was in the hospital, what food did I want? What did I want? What did I want to eat? What did I want to know? Curry, no pizza, no. So I told him, really want to know. So, okay. Chips and cheese. I remember 4 o'clock in the morning, I want some chips and cheese. So I wanted to sign this poem with me. After time to see the word, chips and cheese, okay? Chips and cheese. So every time you see the word, you have to sign chips and cheese, okay? Ready? Chips and cheese, the Bluebell Ward song. Chips and cheese, we all want chips and cheese in times of pain and discomfort. A glutinous discharge of dairy cow, whose utterities are never touched. Many say they cannot sacrifice bacon, whereas others like salmon and lemon. A kebab is highly rated, but one thing we need to know, that it aren't anything like you know. No, it aren't anything like you know, like you know. Chips and cheese, chips and cheese, comfort food and TV tears. Some say they prefer purity, others are contaminated. Tomato, ketchup, sweet corn and rice. There's no beating mayonnaise. That is not anything like you know. No, it is not anything like you know, like you know. Chips and cheese, comfort food and TV tears. Chips and cheese, and anything quite like you know. Chips and cheese. Round of applause. Yeah, very good. Okay, right, that's it from me tonight. But I'm selling my book over there. Okay, the first two books are narrative poetry, which is what I wrote about my thought, what was going through my thought when I was in hospital. The third book, A Tale of the Contemptible Suicide, is what happened to me in the psychiatric system from the age 23 for 24 years. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I want to say thank you to the Royal College of Nursing, Sarah, and to me too. Thank you to everybody for watching, but thank you to the NHS, because without new NHS, I wouldn't be here. And please support the Bluebell Ward. 10p is better than 0. That's okay. So now I want to introduce the special man for me who optimizes the spirit of the NHS, and especially for me, the Bluebell Ward. Herbert, come here. Come on. So, because I have a short question and answer. Okay, we have to be quick with the time to go. So, Herbert and I here, do you have any questions we need interpreter on the site?
Microphone, please. Oh, it's up.
Right. Anybody got a question? Question. He's coming. Chips and cheese. Okay. Chips and cheese.
Fantastic. My name is Kevin. It's Kevin. And I work in the community team, the mental health community team. And my question is, your experience in Spain. Well, you know that film called Lost in Translation, where the man goes to Japan. I thought about that because in Spain, there's no English spoken language. And so how on earth could the doctors diagnose you if they couldn't communicate with you and then treat you? Right, shall I answer that?
Oh, very good question. I don't communicate with that. I don't communicate with me. Good question, very good question. Through behavior, because I can't speak or say Spanish. They can't speak English. They walk through behavior. So 6 o'clock in the morning, up, shower. Thomas, in breakfast, sit down, dinner, so all through behavior. If you ignore that, they will eat you. They will eat you. They will make you do what they want you to do. But at the same time, they make you. So they start see with better work on me. So later when I saw, they don't make.
Right, great, thank you.
More questions? Nobody got a question? Question? No? Okay, no.
I was just wondering, so at 23 or 24 years old, you started exhibiting mental health problems. Why did it take so long before somebody thought about sending you to Bluebell Ward? Why did it take so long for him to be referred to Bluebell Ward? Right, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a difficult question to answer. It depends on the local service where you live. So if I'm unwell, I go to my GP, they will refer me to my local community mental health team, the CMHT, and if they know that our specialist service exists, that's fine, we'll get a quick referral. If they don't know we exist, then it won't happen. The community mental health teams are always worried about budgets and about having to pay specialist services. But as a specialist service, we are free. So any deaf person with mental health experiences can come to our service, but often they don't know and they think there's a budgetary cost. So we need to disseminate information to tell all of these CMHTs that any deaf person that walks into their service or is referred to their service can be referred to us, and then they'll get quick treatment. Obviously, if there's a delay, they'll break down. And some of the clinical professionals in these local teams are not aware about our deaf unit, so it varies. It was really good to hear about your experience. I've had a similar experience to you. I was born deaf, but brought up oral because my parents insisted on it and I wasn't allowed to use sign language. Currently, I work in a secondary school, and I've seen similar things where children are oral, and it's a badge of honour to say, I can speak. Then later on, they go to an office and they're told that they have to fit into mainstream society, but they have a fear of being bullied. So I worry that these children in the secondary school, 11 to 16-year-olds, when they leave, how will they fit into society? Will they have the experiences like yourself? You know, it's hard to know, and that's my concern.
That would be the last question because time, sorry. Okay. No, good question, but you know, British Sign Language is not on the national curriculum. So how do we expect to teach everybody to understand sign language? If we keep sign language hidden, we'll only carry on people bullying children with sign. So if we are sign language on the national curriculum, then everybody will be more accepting of sign language and stop stigma of sign language. You know why? Because at the moment, our percentage of the deaf community compared to hearing people, higher percentage of mental health issues because, again, communication. Quick with that.
Go back to the basics. Go to the GP.
I want to go back to basics. So you go up to the GP, you have a question, you tell them you need help. My worry is, what's your experience been like with GPs? And also the clinical commissioning groups, the CCGs, they make decisions about our lives and what service to provide to us. So we need to challenge them to think about us with us. Often we're disenfranchised, and people are talking about, what do you think about them? We've not been able to challenge the CCG, so what do you think about that? Well, that's why, as Richard, as an ex-deaf service user, being able to talk about his experience, it means that the CCG's become aware. And at the same time, I don't know if you're aware, the Greater London Authority Health Committee has visited and interviewed 9 deaf service users and then disseminated their stories to show how difficult it is for people to access GPs and SIM HTs, because often the CCGs are not aware. They think, oh, deaf people are fine, they can manage. But the reality is, in their lives, they cannot manage, which is typical of the experience that Richard has spoken about. So thanks to Bluebell Ward, finally, a full communicating team of clinicians practically saved his life.
I've stopped now, so thank you to Dan and Sarah over there. So thank you for having me tonight.
Okay. Yeah, well, just thank you to everybody. Thank you, obviously, to Herbert and Richard for coming today. Oh, yeah, for coming today. We could have gone on for hours. If you haven't had a chance to go down and see the exhibition, please do. And if you, as I said earlier on, do come back to other of our exhibitions and enjoy sharing with us the sort of history of nursing, really. So evaluation forms are on the seats. As ever, we really like to have your views and opinions. And I hope to see you again sometime. Thank you all very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. It was really, really